Hello, and first I'd like to tell you that your click on this video means a lot for this channel. I'm Alex and I decided to make a special type of content, and I will cover my first FTMO challenge and how I got from paying the fee to trading minimum lots waiting to get funded in just 7 days. I'll show you my account metrics and we'll go through all the major trades that I took, so stick around. I'll also drop some helpful tips along the way for all you aspiring FTMO funded traders out there. So without further ado, let's start with the challenge. Okay, so let's cover the challenge. This is the metrics for the challenge. Alright, this is the graph. So I took 30 trades, also counting these 5 days of trading minimum lots. These are the objectives, and the stats over here. Note that these stats are skewed because of these 5 days. The win rate would have been higher and the average loss would have been bigger, so the risk reward would have been smaller. So I can't exactly remember what it was after the first 5 days. I think it was something close to 2 to 1, but that's not important. If you find a strategy that suits you, risk reward, actually this page is useless. It's only for bragging purposes in my point of view, as long as you pass the challenge, be it in any way as a challenge passed, so be it. Okay, and now let's recap some of the trades. I won't cover them all. You can see I have some small trades here, some trades close break even. I'll only cover the big trades that I took. So first, let's start with the first loss of the account, and it was actually the first trade of the challenge. It was on Aussie dollar Japanese yen. This trade is right here. So as you can see, I forgot to mention, so the strategy, the base strategy actually that we are using on this channel is based on the guerrilla trading strategy. You can find a link in the video description. Please check that out because that's a strategy that definitely took our trading to the next level. I also added some tweaks so that I can use it on the 5-minute time frame, and because I added some EMAs so that I can have smoother entries on lower time frames, but I'll show you that in the following trades. So without rambling too much, this is the first trade that I took. So I saw this ascending channel here, which broke in an impulsive way, and then I entered on the retest at this level. I remember that I didn't like the stop loss on this trade because of the average range of the previous candles. As you can see, the stop loss was way too small. As a silver lining, I nailed the direction of the market. Unfortunately, I think 3 times my stop loss would have kept this trade alive. So I risked 1% on this trade and I actually lost it. So this is the first loss of the channel. Now let's go to the strategy that I was talking about. It's I used it on these trades on the Aussie dollar. It's this trade and also this trade. Let's cover these trades now. So as you can see, I have a $150 win and a $300 win, and this is how the graph looks. At the first entry, I risked 2% because I found that after this impulse, I saw this as a V-shaped recovery and a teacup and handle formation being here. So I had quite a lot of confidence in this trade, and as you can see, the EMA started pointing upwards, and I was waiting for this level to break, which did here, and I entered at the EMA retest. The thing is, I risked 2% on this trade, and I decided to close it way too early because I wanted my account to be preserved, and I decided that 2% risk in this stage is way too much. But I added another entry at the retest of this level because I saw that the trend was committed to the upside. As you can see, it's a nice growth here, and let me remove this one for you first. And I entered another trade at the retest of this level, which I let run until the stop loss got triggered. I used the standard guerrilla trading stop loss placement to trail profits within a trade. If you're not familiar with that, again, check the link in the description. A lot of cool strategies there that can definitely improve your trading style. So this is a trade that would have gone a bit longer, but it actually closed at 30521, so rendering me $300 in profit, or 3% as my account stands. Now let's cover these two trades at the euro US dollar, because these two trades are quite interesting. They're again on the 5-minute time frame, and I will show you in a minute. So what was my thought process during these trades? First of all, I saw this leg up, then I saw this higher leg, and then it came down with momentum. This is where I started seeing this head and shoulders pattern, and this is also where I FOMO'd, because I didn't want to actually risk losing this nice pattern forming to this level. So I entered a bit early here, and as you can see, it costed me a lot. I also noted here that I actually lost 1.5% because I actually moved my stop loss up, so that's a bad thing. But again, this is my channel, and I'm doing this strictly for documentation purposes, so this is my process. I moved the stop loss, so this was a big mistake, ending up with an extra 0.5% in loss. But then after I saw that this level didn't break, and I saw these this is the candle that I entered on. I saw these rejections, and when I saw this candle, I opened another stop loss, risking 2% this time, because this was quite a nice formation for my taste, and I decided to risk that amount. And again, the position was stopped out while trailing the stop loss above this inside bar right here. So 2% risk and 1.5% to 1 risk reward ratio, sorry. This added to this 319 win. Okay, and let's move on to the first page of the metrics. What I wanted to show you again, being transparent, I want to show you these two trades, which are actually quite funny, because as you can see, I ended up losing on a sell and on a buy on the same currency in a 3-minute time span. Sorry. So this is what I suggest you to do when you feel like you're not into trading, or where something happens in that day. Please don't trade, because this buy, remember, was a revenge trade. I won't pull up the graph, but you can see from the time frames that these two trades weren't okay. So don't do this, but I still show them, because this is part of the channel. So 2.5% loss here, and then this is the trade that basically got me the FTMO challenge passed. I described this in my initial video of passing the FTMO challenge. You can see that after this range, we have this impulsive leg up, and I wanted to enter on this level. I get triggered, absolutely no drawdown, and my take profit, sorry, was already set. So this is the trade that passed me the challenge. I think that's it for the challenge. I have 30 trades in total, as I said, but I won't go through all of them. These are the main highlights. So just to recap and point out a few mistakes. The first one was moving the stop loss. I definitely shouldn't have done that. And the second one was that revenge trading part, when I lost 2.5%, I think, on 2 consecutive trades in different directions on the same pair. So that is definitely bad. Let's move on. After I passed the challenge, things turned from aggressive profit hunting to more of a mental game of showing consistency and protecting your balance even more, since the hardest step was already taken. Despite that, during my verification phase, I risked the same 0.5 to 1.5% depending on the context of the trade and how much I was able to manage it. Let's go back to the laptop and cover the trades that I took during the verification phase as well. Oh, before this, we put a lot of effort in our video making, so if you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to show it by liking and subscribing to the channel. Let's go and see the trades. Now for the verification, let's see the metrics. This is the graph, so I traded I think I had 4 trades here. Yeah, 4 trades, 1 loss and 3 won. These are all described in my previous video, but just for the purpose of this video, I will run over all the trades that I took during the verification as well. So these are the objectives. Again, these stats are skewed, but don't pay too much attention to them. Find your trading style, stick to it. No matter how beautiful this part of your account looks or how ugly it is, it doesn't matter as long as you pass the challenge and remain funded. Now let's see the first trade. So the first trade was again on the Aussie dollar Japanese yen, so this is my nemesis. I started the challenge with the -1% on this pair, and I started the verification with -1% on this pair. Let's see what happened here. Okay, this is the trade I took. I remember explaining in one of my past videos that we forecasted this head and shoulders up to this level, but I saw this candle here and I set an entry on the retest of this inside bar, and unfortunately the market was too volatile and it took me out, I think, in 10 minutes or 15 minutes after getting triggered in. And as you can see, the direction was good, but what can you do? So we started with a 1% risk and with a 1% loss. Going back to the metrics, let's see this Euro Japanese yen trade that I took here. This is again a trade that I explained in my previous video. I couldn't manage this trade because I was at work, and actually this trade would have passed me the verification. Just a standard background of the trade, I will go over it again. So we have these zones here that that proved to be quite a nice support area, sorry, for the price. And I saw this impulse up and I entered on this level, which was also an added confluence to the EMA's retest. And from there it was only basically upwards, but I only took 2.5% on this trade because I set my take profit close to this level, because again I couldn't keep an eye out for the trade and I didn't want it to do something like it did here. But anyway, this was my this was the 2.5%, this 2.5% trade. And let's go to these 2 trades that I took on the US dollar Canadian dollar. The first entry was this one on the 8th of December and was actually on the hourly time frame. You can see it here. We saw this impulse to the downside that was cooled down by this descending channel, and then it got followed by this liquidity zone tap and a nice impulsive candle to the upside. I actually entered as a market order here, and I entered a bit early because this was actually the bar that would have triggered me in, this one right here. So I entered a bit earlier, had a bit of a drawdown, and this is a wider stop loss than usual, and I also risked more than usual because this was nighttime and I planned on leaving this position open during spread hours and during nighttime, so the stop loss was a bit more generous. And the next day I opened, while this trade was open, I also had another entry on the US dollar Canadian dollar on the 5-minute time frame, as you can see here. So this is the trade that I took on the hourly time frame, and this is the second trade that I took on the 5-minute time frame. My main reason for taking this trade was the 200 EMA and the fact that the trend was clearly to the upside, and the 200 EMA got tested here and got tested here and also got tested right here when I entered the trade. This orange line is my 200 EMA. I think you can see it well on the video. So I entered this trade on the retest, and I set this position to break even, and this break even also was the same to this position losing 1% that I risked. So after that I managed my take profit levels so that I can get enough to pass the verification, and as you can see, it was more than enough because this trade would have gone a long way from there. So basically these are my trades from the verification. Now I still have to pass some days before I get my funded account, and we'll see from there. That was all, guys. Now I'm waiting for the days to pass so I can get the funded account, and as soon as I get my initial feedback, I'll start a 25k account. We're getting one step closer to the 3085k mark. This is my excited face. A few parting tips. 1. Be sure to use a strategy that you thoroughly backtested and never stray away from that. This is paramount. 2nd, don't revenge trade. This was my main flaw and I still tend to do it from time to time. Set a stop loss cap for the day, be it 2 or 3%, and cut your day short and enjoy the rest of your life with your family and friends. This leads me to the 3rd tip, which is don't let trading affect your outside behavior or demeanor. Okay, you had a bad day, you failed the challenge. Figure it out without being obnoxious with the ones around you. No one likes that, and it impedes you letting go of the issue at hand. 4th, set a standard risk range. I use a 0.5 to 2%. Just like apples, yours could be bigger or smaller. The size doesn't matter that much if you know how to properly use it. And finally, treat it as a game. Have fun, laugh at your mistakes, and don't take yourself too serious. You plan on doing this for a living, so what's the point if you're not having fun? This is just the beginning, so pack a lot of grit, patience, humor, and be on your trading path. Having this image in mind, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this until this point, and I hope my rambling was useful, and see you in our next video. Have an excellent week, a happy trading, and bye-bye.